So joining us on the show is Mr. All-Time, hits, home runs, doubles, RBIs. Did I miss a category in there somewhere? Or just,
stolen bases.
Stolen bases? No, I think that one was cut out of your reach, but that's okay. Joining us on the show is Sean. Joining us on the show is Mr. Sean Reilly, and it's great to catch up again with you, Riles, and everything else. And I gotta share the stories, just how I guess really you and I got connected as friends and everything. It was just really, really late at night. Oh God, we were playing.
I don't like that this is going.
Yeah. Me and my buddy Justin Beck were playing Halo to God knows what hour of the night, and we come across this guy with a gamer tag of Burlington's Best way back when, and it was just like, yeah, we were playing, and the Wookiee clan was somewhere down there, the Halo Knights that went till I want to say they went from the wee hours to the early hours of the next morning, some nights, as far as that stuff goes.
Yeah, that's the joy of being unemployed, young, and lots of time on your hands. So, yeah, I think we played a lot of Halo together. Us and those guys that you mentioned earlier. So.
Yeah, it was just crazy. And then, of course, people forget that you were actually part of Larry Pearson's team that won the national championship in 1994. You get one of the call-ups they put up, you, Mike Slavich, and I can't remember the last one, but there was 3 or 4 guys that you came through and played there, and then you got drafted by the Twins, I think, the following year?
That's correct, yeah, because that was 94 is when we went to the...
you went to Fort Saskatchewan.
Yeah. Fort Saskatchewan, yeah. So, the next year would have been my draft year out of high school in 95. But yeah, the pickups that year were Savages with the Rockies.
Yeah.
Catcher, last name Filardo from Welland.
Yeah.
And then Patterson from.
I always forget about Patterson. Yeah. He was. I think.
Stock lineup. Yeah.
Yeah. It was a pretty well. That team went. I think they were like 263 wins and like 71 losses over 8 years or some ridiculous thing as far as that goes when they were growing up as that group and everything else that Larry Pearson had put together. And it was just a lot of guys from that group went. Somewhere either professionally or they definitely went collegiate wise as well. So it was just great as far as that stuff goes. And then you got returned back to Hamilton, 97 after your arm troubles and you no longer could pitch.
Some elbow issues. Yeah, I actually hurt my elbow throwing a pen before I even went down waiting for my visa.
Oh, jeez.
My 3 years there, I was never 100%, never the pitcher I was before I was drafted. So, it was an experience for sure. You have a shower inside you. They really collecting your cards from the year or two before. It's kind of a surreal experience.
Oh, I know. It's one of those weird things. It's just like, it's like I had this guy's card, that guy's card. Well, I still do it now even because that's the stuff I do with the league and everything else. It's like, okay, one of these days I should just get a shoebox and go, walk up to these guys. Can you sign this one, and just leave them off for the kids for something? It's a posterity thing when we're gone or something.
Yeah. No, I used to be big into card collecting. You know what? I still do a little bit, but that hobby's gotten crazy now.
Oh, I know. It's just, I'm Florida. What we used to spend 35 cents on a pack of cards now is like $9 or some ridiculous thing just for one pack, and you get 7 cards. No gum, 7 cards.
Okay. Gum is the best part.
Yeah, exactly. And then you went to Hamilton, and then. I guess so I want to say 2002, somewhere in there, you came over to Guelph, or was it 2003 after the first championship?
Oh, yeah, I came after the first championship, so I won a championship in 04, second of the back-to-back years.
Yeah.
So. Another great team, one of my favorite teams I've ever played on. That team was so tight, but the funny part is we only went, I think, 19-17 in the regular season.
Yeah, like it was like you guys. Everybody kept saying you guys snuck in the back door. I think you finished 6th or 7th or something. It was just like, then you flipped the switch. As far as I remember that year, just was like, okay, they're gonna repeat, maybe, and it just didn't quite happen. And then the following year, you guys were in there like gangbusters and got knocked off by the upstart Barry Baycats, Ryan Spataro. Yeah. Those guys they were just coming up together, and it's just like every time we saw those guys play, it's like these guys are going to knock somebody off, and lo and behold, it was the Guelph Royals in the first round, and they went on to their first championship.
Yeah, and then we had lost a lot of guys from that championship team. Tons of guys retired, like Churchill, Borges.
Yeah,
I don't think Pogue was with us.
No, because by that time, Pogue I think had gone to St. I don't think he had gone to St. He went back down to the Ducks or something in Long Island or something and was working down there.
Yeah, he wasn't with us. Yeah, and, like I said, Barry had tons of up-and-coming guys like Spataro. Angus Roy was there before he started his managing career.
Yeah.
Lundberg, I think, might have won MVP that year. So they were a legit team. And then kind of things to come for them. So.
And then as you got, I guess, I don't want to say accustomed to the league or just figure out how to hit in this league. I think it was more or less that. It was just, then your numbers just started climbing and you started launching missiles all over the place. What happened there? It's just...
It's a fun, I mean, I was always a decent hitter growing up, but my ticket going to the next level, because I was left-handed, was obviously going to be a left-handed pitcher, right? So that's kind of how I got into hitting, again, in the Intercounties, because I said, well, you know what, I'll pitch for you, but you got to let me hit.
Yeah.
So that was kind of the deal I had in play, and then slowly just kind of phased out from the pitching, and then became a full-time hitter. And yeah, it's funny because in my early 20s, like the league was a lot different than it is now.
Yeah.
It was more of local guys and guys going out and having fun, and that's kind of I was in my party heydays there. In my early 20s, so.
Yeah, we can't talk about the party heydays on this stuff. No.
But the point I'm trying to make is it's amazing what you can do when you show up, less hungover and show the games.
Very true. I remember the text messages some nights from you at 3:00 in the morning. It was just like, oh man, this is going to be a bad day on Sunday.
Please rain the game out.
Find a way. Go turn a sprinkler on from home. Can you hack the sprinkler system in Toronto or something and just try to find a way to rain it out? But it didn't happen too often. And then, it's just, and then everything, you started taking off. You won your first MVP. Ironically, the year the Royals weren't in operation with the Barrie Bay Cats. And then you came back 2012. And then, I don't know, should we talk about the trade or not? Because it was very hard for me. It was hard for you. It was hard for Lauren. It was hard for everybody. It was just a weird situation.
Yeah, it was tough because I think they had fired manager Dave Volkers at the time. He was also one of my very close friends at the time, and there was a few of us that weren't really happy with the way things were going. It was kind of, well, if he goes, I'm going to.
Yeah, well, exactly.
Kind of in the middle of that, trying to get a deal done, and I think that took away a couple of weeks of my season. But I didn't know if I was even going to play that year. To be honest with you, I was ready to sit it out, and then we got the deal done in Toronto, and I had my big revenge game with you guys.
God, I remember that pose. I think we made it into the fake cover MLB The Show or something. We put your picture on it. I got to find it somewhere. It's got to be somewhere on a hard drive still somewhere, but it was just, I remember that game. I just remember that year. It was ironic. I kept getting text messages from a certain couple of guys that played on the team. At one point, it's like, you just traded away the MVP. I hope you know that. I'm like, yeah, don't remind me. Because then
it's a tough position for you to be in, too.
It was just because it's just like, here I am. I literally Jim told me, I think the Sunday afternoon, he was letting Davey go. Would I be interested? And he's like, I'm going to give you like 12 hours of sleep on it. And then I think we were playing somebody that Tuesday night. He announced it to the team or something, and it was just like bang, bang, bang. And it was like, okay, this really happened. And then like 4 or 5 of you guys walked out of the dressing room, never to be seen again in a Royals uniform. So, which, I understand it. I understand it. It was loyalty to the Tebow and everything else, and it just the directions things were going. And then it was just, it was very difficult for me as that situation, because I know some of you guys, I was close with so many of you guys too. And it's just like, man, it's just like, oh, I don't think I slept right for a week after that.
Well, I mean, those 2 weeks off, I slept pretty well. I had lots of fun.
Yeah.
A little break from the action there, but no, I was happy to get back in the field. Obviously, I've been around the league for a while, so I knew lots of guys on Toronto, so it was an easy transition for me, and I went on to have one of my best years, arguably my best year I've ever had in this league. So that
was the year you set the home run record, wasn't it? As well, I think that was 21, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think I set the home run record, the RBI record. That was my first MVP. No, my second MVP.
Second MVP, yeah. Second one, and then it was like then you were in Kitchener for the last 2, where you hit the your triple crown years. You almost hit it for 3 in a row, but I think it was the one.
Castaldo.
Yeah.
It's funny because I work with Castaldo now in Toronto with the fire department, so we joke about that stuff quite a bit.
Yeah, so. He's another one of these guys I got to get on the show and just to have some fun with, and actually introduce myself. So after calling his name for so many years, that it's just, hi, I'm Neil. Nice to meet you finally, officially. But yeah,
you guys both on, that'd be a good time.
That would be a good time.
Same time.
Yeah, I guess we got to talk about home runs as well as far as what ones stick out in your mind the most? I know, obviously, we were talking earlier today just because I had to ask the question because I came across the article. Definitely the one in Ottawa, which is, I wish I was there for that one. I just wish I was there for that one because everything I've heard about it, it's just like, even the Ottawa Sun's description of it, it hit the median on the highway and then caroms over to in front of the building, which lo and behold is one of the Ottawa Ministry of National Defense buildings. So you had a missile right at the National Defense Building.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I remember that whole series very well. Ottawa, they'd always played us tough, and it's always tough going to Ottawa.
Yeah.
Because, I mean,
it's 6 hours.
Drive and everyone goes up there to have fun. But, we kind of held off on the fun until that game was over anyway. And it was a 1-0 game. I remember I hit the solo shot off of Huffman halfway through the game. And Woot was unreal that game. I think he threw a 2-hitter.
Yeah, it was a 2-hitter for Woot, and it was just
probably the best game I've ever seen him throw. And I mean, when we won, that celebration in the dressing room was, very, very memorable. Like I said, I won't get into it. We went out to the Hard Crown after and celebrated like we won the World Series. I mean, I think that only put us up
3-1, yeah, and then
3-1, something like that.
And then you guys had, I think it was a rain out the Sunday, and so you guys were up there the Monday afternoon. You had to finish you stayed up there Monday afternoon, played the game. You guys they came back and won that game 6-5, and then you came back to Guelph the Tuesday night, and you hit an absolute scud missile that night as well against was it Stauffer you hit it off of?
That was Saturn.
I still see that clip occasionally. I just wish we had a better version of it because always I think is it Coates or your video that said
Coates and videotaped that off of Rogers. I mean, it's too bad that the TV isn't what it is now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like watching some of these teams is like a big league broadcast, right? So, we've come a long way in terms of media, that's for sure.
With that way, we definitely have. So, as you're imparting knowledge on other players, including your son, what would your approach if you were trying to suggest to somebody coming into this league as far as what to look for, what's the best preparation as far as stuff to do in this league?
Well, I think what really changed for me is just confidence. I mean, every time I went to the park, every time I went to the plate, I believed I was the best player in that stadium. I believed I was going to hit a home run every single time, confidence really is everything. Like you can't get down. It's very easy to do everything right in this game and go for 5. You can do everything wrong and go 5 for 5. It's just the way it goes, right? But I mean, I believe that every time I was in the plate, the pitcher did not want to face me. Right?
I wouldn't want to face you, and knowing how well you hit baseballs, I was always blessed. I got there early all the time, and saw you take batting practice so many times. It's just like, okay, how many baseballs are we going to lose today and during batting practice?
Yeah, I mean, baseball's a hard enough game it is, right? I mean, like I was saying before, you do everything right, you get no results. So if you don't believe that you're going to hit, you're not going to hit. Right? It's just the way it goes. Right? You got to put bad games behind you and get back out there the next day as if the previous game didn't exist and start fresh. And I was always the type of guy that would go 4 for 5, would be pissed I didn't go 5 for 5, and ask Coach Tebow or whoever it was what I did wrong in that at bat.
Yeah.
And that's the difference between being a 250 hitter and a 400 hitter in this league, right? One extra hit a game.
Well, exactly. It does. And we've seen the differences in one ball game here. You miss that pitch by just slightly enough, and it stays in the ballpark. That's the difference between advancing in a series and not advancing. Sometimes
you gotta let that up back go, right? Get ready for the second one and the third, whatever it is, and take the information you got from the at bat before and learn from it.
Yeah.
Right? Watch the pitcher. Watch how he's throwing other guys. How did he throw you last time? Right? I was a guy that usually got pitched backwards a lot. Right?
Yeah.
Guys weren't afraid to walk me, just like like the Castaldos, Salazos.
Yeah.
You walk him, who cares? Right? I'll get the next guy.
Oh, exactly.
Right? So you got to really be selective and wait for your pitch. There's a lot of good guys. I mean, the thing is, people just don't play as long anymore.
No, they don't.
They're 5 years, they're done, or they come out of college and they don't have that passion for the game anymore. They just had enough.
Or they get married, get girlfriends, get jobs, get parents to say, "Hey, you really got to get a real job." So it's time to put the baseball thing away. I get it. We see it all the time.
Yeah, real life happens.
Yeah.
Right, and majority of these guys now, they're they're not as local. They're guys from all over. So, they're going to play in the Intercounty one year. They're going to play in the Frontier. Then they're going to go play somewhere else. So, I mean, no one actually sticks around this league long enough. I mean, I look at that, that list, and there's guys like Salazzo as well.
Yep.
And then you look how far back they actually are. It's like,
well, I know. It's just like I looked at it the other day, and it was just like, so you've got 207 career home runs. Next closest guy was Randy Kerman at 154. The three active guys that are close, Brownlee's at 121, Costado's got 98, and then Salazzo's at 87. So it's like they would have to hit 20 home runs the next 5 years to even come close.
Yeah,
and
it's tough to do, right? Especially those guys are, they're not 25 years old. They have jobs and girlfriends and houses and there's other stuff happening in their life, right?
Yeah.
So no, it's tough. Not to brag or anything. I just don't think that a lot of those records will be touched just because of
No, I don't think so. I don't think so either. Just because the league has changed, the game has changed, and it's just we don't have these. It's not as lot. There's not more of these quote unquote local pitchers anymore. Now you're facing the guys that have got either serious collegiate backgrounds or they've got serious professional backgrounds, and they're just looking to hang on for a few more years, and they're up here pitching, and they're here to win. Basically, bottom line.
Yeah, you're not facing Dwayne Fraggles anymore.
Good old phony.
No offense to Fraggle.
No.
That guy's a beauty. I actually just saw him and talked to him the other day. He's
Nice.
doing well. But yeah, every day now those top teams are getting guys that are pumping 90 plus, right? It's that's tough to see day in, day out.
If you go look back, was there any I want to say a couple pitchers you hated facing?
By far the worst one I hated this was Ogletree.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember him. He was down
the sidearm. Yeah, it was always the 3/4 up sidewards. Yeah, he played for Guelph, and then he went to Brantford, and it was just like, he was a nemesis.
I remember I had one hit off of him, and it was a home run. Dead center of Brantford. That's his only solid contact. He broke more bats. He cost our owners more money in wood than anybody. Like he threw this pitch, it was like a frisbee. If it looked like he was going to go behind you, stay in the box. He was going to catch him inside the plate.
Yeah,
I hated facing him.
Yeah, I don't know. Gabe Rebus always seemed to just drive me up the wall too. Especially when he for some reason just seemed to find a way to get you out, and then of course they'd bring in Strecker after that, and it was just like, oh man, please, just once have a bad night, Streck, just once.
Bringing Strecker in was a relief, man. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
and I run into Strecker every once in a while because kids both play hockey in Hamilton. So when we chatted about the old days, and I talk about the times I get him and. I don't think he got me very much.
No.
But he's a beauty, man. He's been around the game almost as long as I have. So, mad respect for that guy. It's you just don't see guys like that anymore, right? There's nobody like Strecker around for 20 plus years.
No question.
And you got Lawson. Lawson's up there. He's a guy too, but.
Him and Strucker both retired last year, and I was just like, okay, man, I'm tired of writing these retirement releases because there's a few more guys that I'm pretty sure are close enough as it is. There's a certain guy in London that owes me a phone call when that does happen, but that's beside the point.
Good times. They said it's funny when I run into so many players now that I played against, and the last few years they're like, we can't believe you're still playing. And these guys have been retired for 15 years. And I don't know how you still do it. And you know what? I still love going to the ballpark every day. I love being with the teammates, the guys in the locker room, and I kept myself in pretty good shape. And really, that's the only way I could continue to do.
Well, exactly, because you and I would trade texts, and I want to say 2016, 2017. You're like, my back is so messed up. I'm just I was fully expecting to say, you know what? I'm done. I'm done. I just can't swing it anymore.
Well, that's what happens when you swing as hard as you can every single time.
Yes, that's true.
I didn't have the prettiest swing, but it got the job done, I guess.
It definitely did. So what are the kids up to these days? They're just, I know Aiden's big into hockey, big into baseball.
Yeah, so Aiden's playing AAA hockey. He's playing AAA baseball. We just moved from golf over to the HPP program in Mississauga there. A lot of Intercounty guys involved in that. Frankie here is my assistant. Sean Travers played for golf for a while, Toronto area, I believe. Ryan Aziz, another former Royal. Greg Byron actually pitched for golf for a year.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
So, there's lots of Intercounty guys now that I run into, through coaching. And, that's one of the main reasons too why I ended up hanging them up, just so I could help coach my kids' team. And
Well, exactly.
I don't regret it. I have to be around the game in some fashion, and that kind of fills that void. So.
Always great to catch up, my friend, and just, I swear sometimes it's been just too long, but it's always great to catch up and just, even if it's just a text message here and there, just see what's going on. But it's always great to hear from you and just make sure everything else. Give my best to everybody. Give my best to Lauren. I don't miss those text messages that said whatever time she's stressed out about God knows what, as far as this stuff goes. Yeah, I don't miss those text messages, but yeah, I do miss.
We'll see what happens this weekend. I might surprise you.
Yeah. And on that note, I think
Super Bowl, Neil.
I know it's the Super Bowl. I know. So who are you picking?
Oh, I got to go with the Eagles. I'm a Bills fan, so
yeah.
I'm dying to see the Chiefs lose. Not a huge Swiftie. My daughter's a Swiftie, so she'll be rooting for the Chiefs. But I'm rooting for the Eagles.
Awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Sean Reilly has left the building yet again. Great to see you, Sean.
Thanks for having me, Neil.
No problem. All right.